Hey friends, welcome back to the kitchen here on Markelly Farm. Hope you're not pied out yet. We're going to do our fourth installment on our pie series that we're doing today. I'd like to welcome Mom Mia to our channel. She's actually from South Africa. She's one of our new subscribers. She messaged us the other day on one of the videos. So welcome. We hope you enjoy our channel. So come on back and we'll make this next pie. Alright, let's get to the pie making. One of the suggestions that I mentioned to our new subscriber on that last video, we're going to do today for you. And we also had some questions about our pie crust. I guess people haven't been following along all the videos we've been doing. So I thought I'd go over the pie crust again today. Now we have a really good homemade pie crust recipe. It's phenomenal. If you'll go check out our red hot apple pie recipe on our channel, you'll get that recipe. But if we're in a hurry and we're making as many pies as we're doing over this series, if you don't want to make homemade pie crust, this is the next best thing. Do not get those pie crusts that are already pre-stamped in the pan. To me, those aren't even edible, and they got a really bitter flavor to them. And if I don't like the pie crust and leave it on my plate, it's not worth buying. Now these Pillsbury pie crusts, they come in rolls. There's 2 rolls in this box. And they are absolutely the next best thing to homemade pie crust. And you'll see when we get this pie crust out of the oven, it's going to be super flaky and beautiful. So I've taken one of our thawed out pie crusts. The thawing instructions are on the box. I put it in a pie pan, and that's another good thing about these pie crusts is you form the edges. So everybody that you serve this to is going to think you slaved all day in the kitchen and made your pie crust because it's got a hand-formed edge on it. So we've put it in the pan, and if you can see, we've got holes. I've taken a fork and poked holes all over the bottom of that pan and even around the sides. And remember, when you're crimping your edge of your pie crust, kind of roll it over the outside so it holds on to the outside of the pan so it doesn't slip down inside the pan as it cooks. So we're going to pre-bake this pie shell because we're doing another cream pie based on cream pie. So set your oven, preheat it at 450, and you're going to bake this pie shell from 10 to 12 minutes. Now I want to discuss times with you because the color of your pie pan, I'm just using a Corningware for this one, will determine how quick your pie bakes. If you use a dark colored pie pan, like this one here, these take up heat a lot quicker because of the dark color, and you can probably get by with 10 minutes or less in this pie pan, whereas a light colored or glass pie pan won't take as long. So we'll probably go 11 minutes with this one and see how it comes out. But different color pans cook at different rates, and if you didn't know that, now you do. Now with these pie crusts, you can either make 2 pies or 1 double crust pie like it shows here in the picture, like an apple pie or pot pie or something that you're going to make. You can even cut one of them into strips so you can do your little decorative crust too. So that's a bonus of having 2 of these crusts in one box. Now if you're only going to use one, just throw the other one back in the freezer or back in the fridge. It'll keep for some time. Alright, our pie shell is pre-baked. Look at the flakiness on this shell. You just don't get this on store-bought shells, those ones that are pre-stamped. See how all the crust is all bubbled up, and that's from the butter or whatever fat they had inside of their dough. But super flaky. Love this stuff. It's almost as good as homemade. So in our saucepan, we're back to our standard vanilla cream recipe, which is 2/3 cup of sugar. I use 6 tablespoons of flour. You can also use 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, either one you want. Half a teaspoon of salt. And then I combine in 3 cups of milk, 3 egg yolks, and we're going to throw 1 tablespoon of butter in here. We'll heat this up and we'll stir it. And when it's nice and thick, we'll dump in our 1½ teaspoons of vanilla and cook it for about another minute, and then we'll pour it in our pre-baked pie crust. Alright, we brought it to a simmer and we dumped in our vanilla. Been cooking over medium heat. We just turned it down to low. We're going to cook this for another minute. Remember, we're going to cook that alcohol out of the vanilla. And then once this is done, we'll pour it in our pie shell. It's that easy. I know you've been watching this a lot over the past couple videos, but just goes to show you how easy it is. It's the same process for lots of different pies. Alright, you've seen this before. That's our vanilla cream pie recipe. And I make enough for a 9-inch pie, but I only make an 8-inch pie, so I have a little snack for later. Now, you can serve this just as a vanilla cream pie, like I've said before, but we're going to kick this thing up a notch. And also, any of these recipes that we've been showing you, if you wanted to make pudding for your kids, homemade pudding, you could use this recipe. Just put it in little cups like that, and then you know exactly what's in their pudding cups. It's all natural ingredients and none of the preservatives. So the next step of our process, we're going to be making a strawberry cream pie. I bought a tub of strawberries yesterday, which is right around a pound. And if you know anything about strawberries, they're kind of like avocados. You get them home and they rot pretty quickly. So I bought those yesterday fresh at the store. Well, not fresh at the store because they come from California, but bought them from the store, and today they were already showing signs of they were starting to mold. So you got to use them quick. So we've cut those strawberries up. So we've got our strawberries in a saucepan. We added a cup of water. We added a ½ cup of sugar. We added a 1/3 cup of minute tapioca. If you remember from our berry pie recipe, I use this in place of cornstarch. It gives you a little bit of insurance. You're not going to get a runny pie or runny filling or whatever you're doing. So I use this in the place of cornstarch. Now I also use, because these strawberries aren't as tart as like berries or cherries or something like that, I used a 1/4 teaspoon of the citric acid that you can find in any canning section of your store. Hopefully right now you can still find it. If not, you could use the juice of like 1 lemon, throw in there to do the same thing. So I'm going to heat this up. We're going to stir it up until it comes to a nice consistency, and then we're going to dump it on top of our pie. So this strawberry cream pie is going to be real similar to like a strawberry cheesecake or a cherry cheesecake, something like that, except it won't be quite as rich as the cheesecake filling is. The vanilla cream pudding is a lot milder, not quite as sweet. Now the reason we need to add the citric acid or the ascorbic acid, whichever one you use, is because these aren't very tart. As you cook strawberries, they'll turn kind of brownish red instead of bright red, whereas that citric acid or ascorbic acid should keep them a nice bright red color. You'll use this in canning when you're doing peaches and stuff like that too, to keep them a real nice fresh color. Now if you were using cornstarch instead, I'll give you that measurement. It'll be 2 tablespoons of cornstarch instead of the 1/3 cup of tapioca that we used. If you like cornstarch, you can use it. I use other stuff because it makes it a little more rustic, and like I said, the tapioca gives you a little bit more insurance that it's kind of set up. So we brought our mixture to a boil and boiled it for about a minute, and then now I've got the fire turned off. Now if you use cornstarch in this mixture, it'll give you a clearer consistency, kind of like a strawberry glaze. If you prefer that, you can go ahead and use the cornstarch, not a big deal. But you can see this is kind of opaque looking, and I think more country looking. That I like. It looks more rustic, and that's what I like. You can do this with any fruit, folks. This would be good with rhubarb too. You just have to up the sugar. And any fruit that's more tart, let's say like a tart blackberry or something like that, you'd probably want to double the sugar to probably a cup, and with the rhubarb as well. So that would be super good. Now I wouldn't be really mad at you if you use canned pie filling put on the top of that, like cherry or whatever, blueberry. They make it in the can that you can use, and you can pour it right over the top of that just as easily. But we like to make it. So we're going to let this cool a little bit. It'll thicken up a lot more. And once it's a little cooled off, we're going to dump it right on top of our pie. Hopefully I have enough to put my little midnight snack there. Okay, my friends, there's our beautiful strawberry cream pie. We're going to let this cool here on the counter till it's room temperature, and then we can put it in the fridge. Isn't that gorgeous? The ascorbic acid or the citric acid maintain that beautiful red color. And I did have enough for my midnight snack and plus some more. So we can use that on some ice cream or something if we wanted to later. So when that's ready to serve, we'll put some real nice whipped cream on top, and that'll be an absolutely phenomenal dessert tonight for dinner. I think Kelly's going to really like that. So I hope you've enjoyed our fourth installment that I added in. We're going to do 5 pies. I promise you we're still going to do that chocolate cream pie because it's one of my favorites too. And we'll show you a couple little tweaks you can do to that too to really put something over the top and create something you'll really like. So until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We love you guys. Like and share, subscribe so we can get out to more people. We don't make a living on this channel. We just want to reach more people and help more people. Show more people how to do stuff the old way. Get away from the preservatives and the additives that's in your food. Start growing stuff. Grow your own food. Get more sustainable. And eat the healthy stuff. So catch you on the next video. We'll see you then.